time for more Rainbow High craft time. Hello everyone, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. This is a channel that's dedicated to dolls. Arts, crafts, and dolls. We like dolls here. And the doll that we'll hopefully be liking today is this Rainbow High Watercolor and Create. Do I think I'm gonna like this? I don't think, because I don't think it works very well. But we are gonna find out because we are gonna do the craft today. I'm home at my house in Massachusetts, taking a little break from the city. Both of my parents are at work. They have both of the cars, so I'm trapped here, which means it's perfect time for crafting. If you enjoy arts, crafts, and all things dolls, please subscribe because there'll be lots of content about that here on this channel. This was one of the many dolls that my mom got me for the holidays. I picked it out myself and it had many positive points for me. It's a craft doll. I enjoy crafting. I liked the idea that you could customize it. I am a doll customizer and I quite enjoy when Playline dolls provide you with customization opportunities, and I feel like Rainbow High has moved in that direction, and it's a different direction from where they were before, but it's a fine direction for me. The fully white nature of her still leaves you with plenty of customization opportunities, even if the products they provide here don't work for you. So we're gonna find out today whether these products work, and I'm fairly confident that they do not, but we're gonna try it. It's gonna be exciting. Here's a look at the front of the box. It looks, as so many Rainbow High dolls do now, very cluttered. There's a lot going on. It gives you a little idea of what the project is gonna look like. I don't think it's gonna look like that. Look how bright those beautiful colors are. Looks like you get so much color payoff. The side of the box has the other two girls in the line. Both of them are really cute. I just liked her outfit the best, which is why I picked her. I also like her lips. Not a fan of the purple eyes, but you know, no worries if not. And the other side of the box, once again, has these beautiful, vibrant colors. That's what they're advertising to you, that you're gonna get beautiful, vibrant colors. And here's the back of the box. The interesting thing about these for me is that when they did it in the show, this one was actually the Poppy character. So I didn't know that when I bought it, but Poppy, she's gone. She's gone from the doll line, and she was just one of my favorites. They didn't give her Poppy's eyes, but they gave her Poppy's look from the show. First thing I'm gonna do is take this doll out of the box and have a little look at her. We'll look at her up close. We'll see what she has to say for herself, which is probably not much because she's inanimate. But let me do that for you right now, and I'll be right back. It wasn't an easy unboxing, but it wasn't the worst. It's not a total annihilation. Pretty good. For Rainbow High, easy. I'm gonna show you everything that came in the box. First of all, your set of instructions, which I will read before I do the project because I've never done this before. There's the stencil, which you're not really gonna be able to see, I don't think, maybe a little bit. That's to like daub designs onto your costumes, I assume. I don't think that's gonna do anything. They do provide you with a single little bowl, I assume for mixing. There's also a single measuring cup, which, you know, those are nice. That's a nice thing. You also get some elastics, which I'm not going to remove from this bag because I love these ones. These are the good ones that don't break easily, so I'm going to save those for my collection. There's of course your standard Rainbow High comb. This one's in white because the doll is completely white. There's your little tool here. So you've got a brush on one end, it says RH, it's branded of course, and a little dauber on the other, and they do provide you with an extra little dauber, so that's nice, I think. There's a glittery clear spoon, I'm assuming to measure out your pigments. This is a Reboot doll, by the way. An extra set of shoes, which is nice. They're white, as all of the shoes are. They're actually pretty cute. They're like sneaker design. It's kind of hard to see the details, but they've got like a little detail up at the ankle. There's a lightning bolt design in the mold. Little lace is sculpted on, and they've got quite a cool looking sole, and of course treads, which is one of my favorite things, and they say rainbow on the back. That's nice. Extra set of shoes, and you can paint those any color you want, so they're very versatile. And then there's also an extra little shirt. It's very simple, but you know, it does the job. It says Rainbow High Atelier because we are ateliers now. And then of course the most important thing for your customization is these pigment powders that will give us beautiful, vibrant patterns all over our clothes according to the box. There's lots of options there. You can mix them, you can use them plain. That's nice. I feel like there's a lot of option there. Over the front of her was this very vibrant sort of tie-dyed piece of plastic to show you the results that you are definitely going to get when you use this product. I'm gonna stop being sarcastic and let's look at the doll because she is very beautiful. Okay, there's something very ethereal about her being all in white, and I have a feeling she's gonna go home all in white. Let's start at the top of her head. She does have a really cute hairstyle. Of course, the hair is completely white. It has 2 braids that run through these 2 curly pigtails. The top has no product in it. Unfortunately, the bottom is very full of product, and I don't know if you can tell, but the part that has the product in it is the part that looks like crap. I'm just saying. So coming on down to the face, this is a very pretty face, even with those purple eyes that I'm not the biggest fan of. She does have a pale skin complexion, and she has light brown eyebrows that fade out from light to dark at the tip. Her makeup is a beautifully blended pink shade, and that sits on top of course, the classic winged eyeliner. She's got very long lashes, which I really like. Some of these Reboot dolls have been getting really long lashes, and I think it really looks quite nice. Her purple eyes, she has a little bit of what appears to be brown makeup under the eye. It looks pretty good. Can't really complain about the way that looks. I think it's really beautiful. She's got cute little rosy cheeks, and I love this lip color. I don't know, it's bubblegum pink. It's very cute, and it actually looks quite nice. This one was purchased online, so you know, you never know what you're gonna get there. This one looks really good. I don't know, there's something about her. I like her a lot. Very pretty face. So coming on out to the outfit, I picked this one because this was my favorite outfit of the 3. She comes with this little hoodie. I like it. It's a cropped hoodie. It's got sort of a bell sleeve. It has, you know, the full hood that'll never fit on that giant head. But it's funny. It's cute, right? It has working drawstrings, a nice detail. And what does this say on it? It's very hard to tell, and I feel like it would pop out if you put it in pigment that was bright enough. But it's got like a swirly design on it, and it does say Rainbow High in there. It is kind of hard to see in all white, but you know, it provides some dimension, some detail in that simple white hoodie. But for its simplicity, I think it's really nice. Feels nice, it's very soft. Her skirt, it's a pretty simple design, but I quite like it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a simple white pleated skirt. It hits her right above the knee. It does look like there is a lining under there. And that's just a really cheap poly, sort of lightly stretchy fabric. I don't know, it does the job. It sort of just covers up her no-no bits. And then coming on down to her shoes, these are quite cool. I like those a lot. She's got sort of a mid-calf boot, pretty, and they are laced all the way up and the laces wrap around. That's pretty nice, cute detail, okay. They have a very high platform heel, stunning and gorgeous. And then my favorite thing, treads. Her arms look weird because there's no wrist articulation, but that's fine, no worries if not. The skirt is sitting like a little bit funny. I think you know what it is. They never sew the strap to keep it in place quite right. Like it's riding up in the back, but you can probably fix that by snipping the strap and sewing something else on or just making it a little bit longer. I'll probably do that eventually on her. But I mean, there's not much to say because she's very simple, but in her simplicity, I think she's quite beautiful. There's something very ethereal about her all in white, which, you know, it's good that I like it that way, I think. Classic Reboot articulation, nothing to write home about. There's the head tilt, the shoulder, the elbow, single jointed. She's got the hips. She has no rotation at the thigh anymore, and of course there's still this lovely double jointed knee for now because those new hair chalk dolls that came out have no articulation, just classic 5 points. Wrist is gone, painted nails are gone, but these are meant to be customized, so you can paint those little nails yourself and do them any color you like. You can make them match her outfit that's definitely going to be vibrant. I believe these go for $24.99. I feel like for $24.99 you get a craft, you get a doll. It's a very nice doll. It's better than them stiff millies that Mattel be putting out. Some of them cost $24.99 too. So I'm about to go do this craft, okay? Let me know down below. Do you think it's gonna work? Did you get one of these yourself? Did you try it? Did it work for you? Were you able to problem solve it and make it work better? Because that's what I'm hoping to be able to do. If it didn't work, did you customize the doll or did you leave her all in white? I wanted to know all these things. I'm gonna go do this craft. It's gonna be great. I'm very excited. I'll see you in a second. I've got my project all set up here, all the bits. I'm putting my tray down and pouring my water in. in the measuring cup as specified. I'm starting with the orange. It's got a safety seal on it, very nice, and there's a little sprinkler, but I'm planning to dump that into the water, so I open it right up, and I'm spooning it in as per the instructions. I put 4 scoops, and I'm stirring it. This stuff was kind of hard to stir into the water, and I was using warm water, and my color wasn't as bright as I wanted it to be, so I just add a little bit more. I follow the instructions. You can do whatever you want. It's your project. So I'm going to start with the shirt, and I start by just dunking it straight into the pigment and the water mixture. The texture of this stuff was very slimy. Slimy is the best way to describe it, and as you can see here, the color payoff isn't great. It's very, very pastel, and this is exactly what I expected it to be. I did not expect the high color payoff that you see on the box, and the shirt didn't come out the way I wanted it to. So I tried just sprinkling the powder pigment straight onto the damp shirt, and then just daubing it in. I was hoping by really mashing it into the fabric, I could get a little bit more color payoff. It didn't work. It did not work, unfortunately, but I keep trying anyway, and I'm just doing the same process. I do it 3 times, and this is the result, so not very good, and it's very uneven also. I really wanted to do a 60s sort of tie-dye look with orange, yellow, and green, so I figured I'd try another color. Maybe another color would work better. I go in with the yellow pigment powder straight to the shirt. Because of all the methods I tried, that one seemed to work the best, which, still isn't great, but it's okay. I just keep doing this. I keep trying, and I feel as though perhaps I chose the wrong colors, because it seems later on that the red, blue, and purple actually work much better. Moving on to the green now, same process, just sprinkling the pigment powder on and really mashing it into the fabric. I felt like in my mind that mashing it in would help. I don't think it was doing anything at all, if I'm being honest. That's the final result on the shirt. Can you see anything? I can't. Now I'm trying the shoes. On the shoes, this effectively did nothing. It just made it wet and slimy. There was no pigment sticking to the shoes at all, so I'm trying the dauber, and then I switch over and I try the brush, nothing. And then I just try sprinkling the powder straight onto the shoe, because that seemed to work a little bit better on the shirt, but then once you wet it, it just smears all over the place and leaves the shoe extremely sticky. And for whatever reason, there's also a lot of mica in this pigment, and I'm not sure why, because it doesn't make anything shiny except for when you get it on the doll's skin. It leaves a residue. Moving on though to the hair, this is the part where I had some success, and I immediately get excited because look, there's color payoff. How very exciting. It is pastel, which of course on the box, that wasn't what you were advertised. But I feel like, with her white clothing and her white hair, a pastel color palette could be really nice. So I'm just trying some things out at this point, seeing what works. Really mashing it in there. This is where the mashing technique really works. Really mashing the dauber into the hair was working really well for me. About here is when I decided I wanted to do a pastel rainbow on her hair. So I go back for the red later. But we're working on the orange section right now, and I'm liking the way it looks. I finally found something I like. So I'm mixing up a new batch of pigment. I'm using yellow this time. With the lighter colors, you need a lot more pigment powder than what they recommend. So I just keep mixing it until I get the color payoff that I want on the hair. And when it comes to the ponytails, I am daubing the pigment on front and back just to make sure it really coats the strands. Because of how aggressive I was being with my daubing, my little dauber was coming loose and it was getting trapped on the hair. So I finish all the warm colors in this dauber, and you'll see later I switch it out for the other one they provided. Getting the right ratio of pigment to water for the color payoff I was looking for was the most difficult part. But honestly, it was kind of fun. A little bit of a chemistry experiment. here's where I finally switch out my dauber tool. You just yank one off, put a new one on, pretty simple process, and I'm moving on to the blue. And the blue was the one that worked the best of all the colors. Like if you're going to do this, blue is definitely a color I would recommend using. I used the least amount of pigment powder in the water and got the most amount of color payoff, as you'll see through this process. Now with the purple, because it was the bottom of her hair, I mixed up the pigment into the water as I normally would, struggling to get it mixed as I normally would, testing it on the hair as I normally would, adjusting my ratios as I normally would, just continuing to struggle to make sure that that's mixed in. And I start by daubing it onto the hair as I normally would. Then I add some blue, because the blue worked better than the purple, so I'm trying to get more color payoff from the purple. And this actually did work. It cooled down the purple shade a little bit, but you know, it's still purple, it worked out fine. Then I start by daubing that onto the hair as I have been previously, but then I realized if I just dunk the bottom of the hair in, I can get this done a lot quicker and probably get more color payoff. And this actually worked out great. So I'm just putting the bottom of the hair into the purple, sort of blending it up into the blue. And I love the way this turned out, and it was simple and it was easy. And I'm finally going back for the red. And the red is just going to go on the top of her head, you know, blending into the orange to create the full rainbow. And the red was also a really good color. It had a lot of payoff, and talking to people after I did this project, it seemed as though it worked quite well in the clothes too. And the blue and the red were the two colors that seemed to be the ones that you want to use if you want to do this project. Here she is, all done with her pastel rainbow hair. I like the way it looks, honestly. I like the way it came out. All right, we're back, and here's the result. I had fun. It came out exactly as I expected it to, except the hair actually came out better. It's my one little triumph, okay? I have a couple things to say. Here's the shirt. It looks dingy. That's what it looks like. It looks bad. The back hardly has any color on it at all. I really wanted to do like a green, orange, and yellow sort of like 60s tie-dye sort of thing, but it didn't work out because the pigment isn't strong enough. I did use all of the product that was provided for me except for the blue. And I started following the instructions, but soon gave up on them because there wasn't enough pigment to put any color down. So I moved on from that and made up my own rules, which you know, that's the thing. You can do whatever you want. It's your doll, it's your project, and you want it to come out how you want, so do what you need to do to make that happen. So coming on down to the hair though, this is where I feel like the color worked the best. It had the best payoff. I was able to get a really cool gradient rainbow on the hair, and it's pastel and I think it's good. So I think I'll probably leave her like that. I'm not even gonna wash the hair out. I don't know what's gonna happen over time. As it's wet, like there's a transfer. So like as I had her sat on a paper towel, there was purple transfer from the bottom of her hair on the paper towel. So this may transfer off onto the clothes. I really don't know. I don't know what it's made of, but it's a strange texture, that much I can tell you. I think I would be happy with her as a totally white doll, but I think what I'm gonna do is just wash out all her clothes, leave her hair just as it is because I think it's very pretty. I enjoyed the project. I had a lot of fun, especially once I started with the hair, because I was like, oh, it's working. Oh, look at these cool effects I can make. This is pleasurable, this is enjoyable. It took me a couple hours. And then the drying time, like the shirt's still a teeny bit wet. I did take a blow dryer to that, and the hair is still damp. And that was a couple hours ago. I finished with the project. So there's a lot of drying time involved. As for the product in the hair, I thought it was gonna be more problematic, and it kind of did like soap up as I was wetting the hair down to do this, but it really ended up looking okay. There's some, the very bottom still looks kind of matted, but I mean, it didn't inhibit the hair from taking the product, because I mean, if you're a kid, you're not gonna wanna wash the doll's hair before you start the project, you know? So I did this as I thought a kid would, and an impatient ADHD adult, because that's what I am. In conclusion here, with the Rainbow High Watercolor and Create, I think there is some playability there. I think it is a little bit misleading because the box implies that you're gonna get really bright color payoff, and you really can only achieve pastels, which I think is fine. But I wish that's what they marketed. Do you know what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? I love her hair. I hate her shirt. I think I'm gonna keep her in white with the rainbow hair, and I'm very pleased with my result. The other thing to note about the craft though is that it's extraordinarily messy. Water gets everywhere. Everything's soaked with water. Everything's soaked with like a little bit of tinge of color, and everything has mica all over it. So everything's gonna be glittery for a while, I think. It doesn't stain, it's just messy, you know? So I don't know that I would leave a child alone with this. Like maybe supervision could be ideal. But that's my thoughts on these dolls. I liked it. I had a good time. It's a rainy day. There's nothing to do. You're bored. You pop out one of these. You do a little craft. Now, of course, a lot of people take like grit dye to these white dolls and do really cool effects with them. So if you're an adult and you want to try one out, grit dye may be the answer. I think it was quite fun, even as a crafty adult who didn't get all of the results that I wanted. So that's that on that. Those are my thoughts. So have fun out there, stay crafty, play with your dolls, and I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm gonna go wash my shirt now.